Madam Chair, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, as we take the steps necessary to realize SDG 16, we do with full knowledge that every step we take toward our goal brings us that much closer to building a better society. The government of the Bahamas embraces inclusivity, and in 2022, we launched our Public Service Professional Engagement Program, achieving our goal to have people living with disabilities make up 10% of the cohort. This was the first time a government training and employment program made provisions for this community. This year, we were proud to match last year's participation rates with 10% of our recently launched cohort also made up of people living with disabilities. We were able to help them to get their foot in the door, but the next step will be to ensure that they are able to have a seat around the decision-making table so that their voices are heard and their influence is felt. The same is true for every underrepresented group in our societies. If we believe that diversity is a virtue, then we must demonstrate our belief through action. Our people deserve a government that looks like them and reflects their values. This is a signpost of a healthy democracy, and it also makes our institutions more effective. In the developing world, it cannot be overstated the extent to which we need efficient and effective institutions to address our most pressing challenges. To achieve this goal, our institutions must be manned by workers who have the necessary capacity to drive progress. As the Minister of Labor and the Public Service, one of my primary objectives is to develop institutional capacity through revamping government recruitment and onboarding processes, retooling existing training programs, and providing opportunities for on-the-job support and learning activities and experiences. We were able to leverage synergies by, for example, pairing the Public Service Professional Engagement Program with the National Training Agency's soft skills training workshops to make government onboarding of entry-level public servants more robust. This addresses one part of the problem. However, more transformative efforts are necessary. We are currently completing a national workforce audit that will identify existing skills gaps and provide the data we need to map out long-term workforce development plans while we simultaneously redevelop government HR policies and procedures. Once the analysis is complete, we will move on to the implementation of a data-driven solutions and policies. This process is time-consuming and resource-intensive, but necessary. There are no magic bullets to institutional reform and no shortcuts to sustainability and building institutional capacity. What matters most is maintaining the necessary political will and demonstrating our commitment to an institutional reform agenda by allocating sufficient finances, expertise, and other resources for the needed transformative work to take place. To build stronger institutions, the developing world needs support, both financial and technical support, as well as a willingness by all parties to move away from cookie-cutter approaches and dive into local data so that countries can develop their own homegrown plans for institutional reform and capacity building. In many ways, progress to SDG 16 is the key to driving progress on all other sustainable development goals. When government institutions are working the way they should be, every other goal becomes attainable. The government of the Bahamas looks forward to working with the members of this community as we support each other in making real progress towards developing effective and efficient institutions capable of driving the changes that we need. Thank you.